All right, fellas, welcome back to the channel. Okay, rearrange my office, so different view today, just a little bit more to this side, and now I got more space for all of the awesome packaging that I got to do. So just kind of wanted to get on here and kind of discuss what my thoughts are on MetaZoo and how I'm thinking of, kind of intermeshing something that the Illustrials community did very, very well, especially during the time when they weren't on TCG Player. So as many of you are already aware, and you guys have probably asked the question yourself, why is MetaZoo not on TCG Player? And that's according to TCG Player that they're just not looking to support the reboot, is what they called it. And I assume that as time goes on, as more MetaZoo, the newer sets start releasing, as they start to see more of a presence of the reboot, they will include MetaZoo in TCG Player. Now, how long will that take? We don't know. It took Illustrials, I want to say like a year and a half, maybe a little bit more, because basically Kickstarter base set came out, then first edition came out, then Frostfall came out, and then after Frostfall, I believe it was Daybreak, and it was, I believe, starting with Daybreak, and even then, no, Daybreak came out, and then starting with Moonrise, they finally started including Illustrials in TCG Player. And so during this time, right, like how were stores doing it? How were the players and the community buying singles and stuff? And so really the community kind of took over and they created their own Discord buy, sell, trade, which has like 2,000 people or something, like 2,000 people or close to 2,000 people last I checked. And when I joined it up, it was like, I don't know, like 1,200 people. So this community, this Discord really helped prop up the issue of not having TCG Player for players and for stores to sell on, etc. And so, shameless plug, I do have live stream that's going to be selling on my website. I do have them up for pre-order. Pre-orders begin now, so they started yesterday really, but I do have already some pre-orders that were placed. I have until September 9th. So September 9th is the cutoff date for pre-ordering Illustrials' newest set live stream. For every $100, you do receive a LGS exclusive card, which absolutely sick. And it's going to be the Babloon, I believe, Champion of Aphrodite. So that's going to be a cool promo. And so, shameless plug, check out my website, crusader-collectibles.com. Okay, that's where you can pre-order. And as soon as I get, the product's supposed to come out in September, so we're literally about a month away. So very exciting. Again, every month there's something new, and it's so cool. It's so cool to follow along in the TCG space, especially like the smaller TCGs that are still kind of finding their footing and growing. And so the reason I mentioned Illustrials is, or MetaZoo in this conversation is they're experiencing the same issue that Illustrials had, right? It's like, okay, how do you get stores and how do you get players to want to get into your game, to want to get into collecting, to want to be able to sell your product if you don't have the good, like the avenues of TCG Player, for example? I mean, it's a huge part of the market for every LGS. Without TCG Player, many stores will not want to carry your product. And Illustrials knew this. The community knew this. The community said, you know what, we're going to be buying, selling, trading. We're going to make a Discord. They're not affiliated with the Illustrials team. This was really a community like bootstrap type of thing, right? Where they said, you know what, we need a place to gather. I want to finish my sets. I need to, find a play set so I can play my deck, etc. And so that's kind of what I've been trying to do. It's going to take me a little bit to kind of get it down. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm using the Illustrials Marketplace Discord kind of as a template for the MetaZoo Discord, like Marketplace Discord that I'm trying to make. Now, here's the thing. I believe that if we can find like one really good buy, sell, trade server on Discord, it will completely eclipse, the fact that there currently is no TCG Player temporarily, right? And so part of this is having a place to be able to check pricing on your cards, having a place to, say, hey, I want to trade my cards. So like, what are you guys offering? And we currently, as far as I know, don't have a really good place for that. And so that's kind of what I want to show you guys today. I'm just going to show you guys the Illustrials Marketplace and kind of what I got going on with the Discord that I'm trying to build to help propel MetaZoo's reboot or MetaZoo 2.0 or whatever you guys want to call it, new zoo, old zoo, to kind of help it propel the singles market, to help even, you know, stores sell their stuff on there, like, I mean, sealed product, singles, etc. Because right now, it seems that we get kind of a mix of not only just old MetaZoo product and new MetaZoo product, and there's really no, I guess there's no proper place from what I could tell from the couple of Discords that I've been there hasn't been really like this great organizational thing. There hasn't been like an auction house that I'm aware of. And so that's what I'm going to show you guys today. You guys let me know what you think down below, because I really think that this is a huge need right now for the MetaZoo community, the new MetaZoo community, to be able to gather, sell their new singles, sell those sweet alternate arts, those hidden rares, check prices, because again, if you don't know what you have, right, you're going to try to seek out what something is worth, what the last sales were. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to help do. And so let me flip the camera around. So this here is the Illustrals Marketplace Discord, okay? Here, okay, that's fine. We're going to leave that there. So if we look at this, right, they have an entire buy and selling category. You have a trusted market. And now this is, and let me go ahead and put my screen back. Let me see if I can do this. And so having a trusted marketplace is very important, especially for new players, new fans of MetaZoo that are just getting into the game. They're going to want to go to a trusted marketplace where they know, hey, these sellers are legit. They're not going to try to scam me or whatever, right? And so, again, a lot of this I got from the Illustrals marketplace, right? They're not affiliated with Illustrals. This was like a community-driven Discord server where people could buy, sell, trade, and it is probably the biggest, if not, I mean, I would assume it's the biggest marketplace for Illustrals buying, selling, trading, aside from like TCG Player where you can buy singles. So like it's that big. I think they're up to like almost 2,000 people in this Discord server. And so you guys can see here, we got multiple listings, you know, people selling everything. And the cool thing is, right, they split it up between trusted marketplace and regular marketplace. And the way it works is you start off in the regular marketplace, you get confirmed sales. And the way you get confirmed sales is by getting seller reviews, right? So here we see seller reviews of, sorry, that's my dog. Here we get seller reviews of multiple different people who sold stuff to customers, and they're basically getting reviewed. So once you get about 5 to 10, I believe, verified reviews, like good reviews in the seller review channel, a moderator would then make you a trusted seller, right? And it's the same thing for buying. If you're a trusted buyer, like you did multiple transactions or confirmed transactions, you get the trusted buyer role. If you're a trader and you're trading cards, after several trades, you're now going to be considered a legitimate trader, right? And so having this, I guess, the reviews and the trusted roles, and knowing that when you're trading with somebody that is a trusted trader, that you're not going to get scammed. Obviously, things do still occur, right? People may still one day scam even with the trusted role, but is very, very, very few and far between from what we've seen in the Illustrals marketplace. Obviously, you have a place to check sold items, and this is kind of where you would be able to check prices. Like, hey, what is my alternate art Mothman from base set 1 actually selling for, right? Because the problem with eBay currently is we'll get sales from, you know, a month or two ago, right? And the market is constantly changing. And so people go here, you know, they say, hey, sold X amount of items to whatever buyer, you know, this is what we got for it. Other people, they'll say, hey, I sold this individual single for this much. You know, for example, here we got somebody said, hey, I sold a Stellar Winjin serialized card to so-and-so for 140. And so now, you know, okay, so my card is selling for this much. And so having something like this is paramount, because obviously people can ask whatever they want on eBay. You got alternate art boxes on eBay for like $2,000. You got people buying them for maybe $1,200 to $1,400. And so having a local place where you can check pricing and you can search by product, right? You can search, hey, what is the alternate art sewer gator that continues to elude me from torrential tides? And you can see, hey, I sold this card for this much to this person. You can then get an idea of what your cards are worth for trade value or for selling value, whatever it is. And so I think that's super important. It's something that we currently don't have, or at least we don't have enough of. I constantly see people asking others for pricing. How much is this worth? What can I get for this? having this sort of thing here where people post, hey, I sold this item for X amount, is so important to help the market flourish. Because if you're seeing boxes of torrential tide selling for, let's say, $80, right, you're going to think, well, there's nothing good to be pulled. You know, you may get a hidden rare. What are they actually selling for? People have them listed for $800, $1,000. Is that what it is? This would actually help track the market properly. You would see pricing go up and down depending on certain values or certain things that happen in the market, whether it's a playable card, something just got revealed, whatever. You can actually see that in these sort of like channels here. Same thing with traded items. You can see what people are trading. This is how you also get like trading reviews, right? So like here, received my portion of the trade today, etc. This is how you get that trusted trader role. Same thing, seller reviews. We went over that already. And so that's just the buying, selling, and trading aspect of it. The coolest thing that they have, in my opinion, is they do have like an auction house, right? And so I use this quite a lot. It's very helpful for me. I can post something up and people will say, you know, they'll bid on it. And for the most part, I mean, every single sell goes through just fine without any issues. You will have some people that will say, hey, I had to retract my bid, but there are actual rules for that. And if you fail to follow the rules, you can actually get kicked from the Discord if I'm correct about that. And so, for example, we can look at mine here. Like I put up a couple of them. So for example, I put up this auction here saying, you know, Shattered Stars, Pentair, tag 10, right? I don't know what the market of slabs are for Elestrals. I've sold a couple of PSA slabs, but they're mainly serialized. So I don't know what people value for, you know, just regular cool looking cards that you can get some cool promos in a, you know, in a slab. So I'm kind of using the auction house to gather that information, right? And so, for example, I did starting bid 20, bid increments, $1, right? And shipping $5 for US customers, etc. And then you put an auction end date, the time that it's going to end. And the coolest thing is you actually, in this Elestrals marketplace, you have the ability to ping anybody that's in the auction house. So if you have the auction house role, you can actually ping the entirety of whoever's in the auction house so that they're aware, hey, I'm selling this product in case you're trying to, you know, place a bid on it. And so I think that's super handy, especially for a game that's so new, like the MetaZoo reboot. The market is still finding its footing. There's people that are grading cards already. We don't know what people are willing to pay yet, and it's like the perfect way to go about it. On top of that, you don't have to worry about like the eBay fees and all that stuff. That basically takes down like 25% at the end of the day when you factor in, you know, the cost to do free shipping, when you factor in the like 13%, 13.5% for eBay fees, when you factor in like taxes, if I'm not mistaken. Having an auction house similar to this, I think, is super beneficial for the community, especially, again, with such a new game. We're only 2 sets in for the new MetaZoo. Lots of people are loving it, man. Really cool cards, really cool artwork. The game is pretty fun from what I keep hearing. Very competitive, very complex, yet easy to pick up, right? So this is such a good tool. And I think it's something that the community needs because, I've been in a couple of different MetaZoo Discord selling servers, and they're pretty rudimentary. They don't have all of the, you know, all the roles. They don't have an auction house. They don't have, you know, a lot of the cool stuff that I've noticed in this Celestial marketplace. And the reason why it's so popular is because of the way the server was set up. And so besides that, of course, you have like a suggestion box, the reveals, which are tied to like the main Discord channel, which I think is cool. LGS promotions. So like if you have a game store, you can actually get a specific role and you can post your store links. You can post your products that you're offering. So, and then of course, there's general chat, general info. You can show off your collection. You know, like this is essentially like an all-in-one area where you can buy, sell, trade, and you have the tools to do so appropriately. Because again, I see a lot of clutter in other Discords. I see a lot of, you know, old MetaZoo. I see, you know, stuff mixed in between. I see some people selling like, you know, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh or One Piece, and they're putting it all into the regular marketplace, and it's not properly done. So this is what I'm currently trying to work on. I'm trying to get something similar to this setup. I'm trying to make sure that we separate, you know, for example, this is the other TCG in the Elestrals marketplace, making sure that we have something set up like this so that when somebody joins the Discord, they know this is primarily for the new MetaZoo, and that they properly put the old MetaZoo or any other card game in the appropriate categories versus how we've had it in the current Discords, right? So that's kind of what I'm working on. I think this is such a really, really good way of helping, promote the new MetaZoo market, the singles. I think the auction house is super underrated. I think that's something we need, something that people can do. And so I'm working on it. I thought it'd be an interesting video to make just to kind of, give you guys my thoughts, because really this all comes down to, the fact that there is no TCG player yet. And it's going to be probably a while before we get TCG player support. And I've already heard stores will not carry the new MetaZoo because there is no new TCG player support. And so you're constantly in the cycle of like, okay, well, we got to do something so that stores can get in the game. But if they're telling you the biggest problem is there is no marketplace where they can go, I know for a fact a lot of stores that carried Alestro were on the marketplace Discord, and they were able to sell their booster boxes. They were able to promote, hey, I have booster boxes, I have starter decks, go to my website, I'll get it shipped out to you guys. And that's how the community kind of started. And so that's what I've been thinking of, because I think that it's such a huge thing, such a hurdle for the current MetaZoo to overcome, and it's going to take some time before they can get to that point, especially because at this point it's not from a lack of trying. MetaZoo, the new MetaZoo, has the resources available to continue to get new sets, to continue running the card games, continue running all of this, right? They have the resources. It's just a matter of TCG player saying, okay, cool, we will go ahead and put the new game on TCG player. And so in the meantime, we're kind of like, okay, it's going to be eBay and like community-driven marketplaces. That's really what it's going to come down to. And I think a community-driven Discord similar to Alestro's marketplace is probably the best thing that you can do. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I hope that I can get all the roles down properly. I hope I can get all this going really cool, like really nicely, to where you join, you pick the roles you want, and people can just start enjoying the new MetaZoo, trading, selling, buying, etc., and going from there. But let me know what you guys think down below, man. I think it's a good learning experience, or a good learning moment, to take what the community from Alestrals did when they went through something similar like this and try to apply it to the new MetaZoo. Obviously, this Discord isn't affiliated with anything like from the actual MetaZoo company. This is just me making the Discord, and people are joining it, and they can do what they want in there. I would have the roles set up. I have all that stuff set up, and you can kind of go from there and see what you guys think. But once I'm done with it, I'll make another video kind of going over all of the roles, how to get the roles, what to expect, the rules, etc. So stay tuned for that. But I thought it'd be a cool video to make, especially now that Torrential Tides has arrived and people are asking these questions. Where can I sell my cards? Where can I trade? Where can I buy? Like, what's this worth? What's the price of this card, etc. So we'll go from there, man. But let me know what y'all think down below. And I'll see y'all very soon. And don't forget, Alestral's live stream available for pre-order now on my website, crusader-collectibles.com. I may get some more Torrential Tides. So if you guys actually want to pick up a Torrential Tides booster box, let me know. I should be able to get some ordered. They still have some, thankfully. And I can go from there. So see y'all soon.